So they're about to add Carmelo Anthony by all accounts, right?
Yep. By all accounts.
Are they going to get better? Adding a ball-stopping guy who don't want to play defense, don't want to go to the bench. I actually believe, Chris, the Houston Rockets got worse. I think they're going to go from 65 wins to about 5th in the West. If I'm looking at how free agency shook out and the draft, I'm ready to present to you my top 8 in the West. There are a couple surprises.
Yeah, that's one. Now, I will admit, before we look at your list, I do agree that the Rockets are worse right now than they were 5 months ago.
Undeniable.
3 months ago.
I mean, they lost.
Losing Trevor Ariza, Luke Baamute, those were good defenders.
2 of their top 7 players.
Yes, and 2 really good defenders, too. And that's what they missed is the defense. I think they'll still be very good, but not quite what they were. But let's take a look at your list. I will respond to it. I'll tell you where you're right.
Okay. So we're going to start with the Warriors,
you're
best
right
team in the league.
One.
Nailed that one, right? I mean, it just nailed it. I am a believer in LeBron James as a plus 15 win guy. I think the Lakers go from 35 to about 50, 52 wins.
You think 50
wins
is second seed?
Well, okay. Well, let me get to it. So the 3rd seed, Utah Jazz. So last year, 3 through 8 won 49 to 47 games. Very tiny window. I believe the Rockets come way back to the pack. I think the Lakers are 2. I think the Utah Jazz are on the rise. I love that team defensively, what we saw in the second half and in the playoffs. I like Donovan Mitchell a lot. And I believe for the OKC Thunder, losing Carmelo Anthony is addition by subtraction, Chris. I think listen, I don't love the Thunder. We'll get to the Dennis Schroeder trade shortly. But I feel like the Rockets could win 47, 48 games and tumble to 5th. You're going to see
47 games? James Harden wins more than 47 games by himself.
How's Mike D'Antoni and Melo going to get along? How's that going to work out in the
Melo's
locker?
no longer the king. Okay. Since you like the king term so much, he's no longer the king. When they battled in New York,
understands that.
When they battled in New York, it was his franchise. He definitely understands it's not his franchise. He is, at best, I think he's actually 4th, maybe 5th in the pecking order. Because you got Eric Gordon.
Over Melo. You're going to tell Carmelo
at this point in his career, you got Clint Capella.
But selling that to Melo.
He understands, and they'll talk to him. So, come on, 47 wins?
47.
That's crazy.
Denver Nuggets on the rise. Love the IT4 pickup. Minnesota Timberwolves. Shout to Jimmy Butler. And the Portland Trailblazers at 8. So 2 teams not on there. I'm sure heads are exploding.
Yeah, my head is about to
driving
explode.
around or watching this. No San Antonio Spurs and no New Orleans Pelicans. Fire away, Chris. Good luck.
J-Mac.
Good luck doing some damage there.
I always feel like I'm just correcting you. And
look
my
at Chris's
list.
list,
Look at my
everybody.
list.
Look at Chris's
Because you
list.
know what? It's July. I don't have to do a list right now, but
Yes, you do.
I will tell you what's wrong with your list. All right?
Wait. Hold on. So you're going 3 through 8. I don't know. You're playing
No, I'm saying in the West, you were right to say there were only 2 games that separated 3 through 8 last year, almost 3 through 9.
Yeah.
And they're all going to be close. So you've got Golden State, obviously. Houston still, I agree with you, they went down a notch. But they still are the second best team in the West.
Quickly on the Rockets.
And then you got how many teams? 7 teams battling for the last 5 or 6 playoffs. 8 teams battling for the last 6 playoffs.
Okay, hold on. Besides Carmelo, okay, we're looking at a Rockets team that led Game 7 against the Warriors at home at halftime by 11 and gagged it. They choked.
But they were playing against, as you said, the best team in NBA history.
Yeah, best dynasty. So I just wonder, coming off that, Chris Paul's games have decreased the last 4 years as he gets up there in age. You just gave Chris Paul a bad contract. We would agree that 4-year deal is not a good one.
Should have been 3 years. But here's
Clint Capella not signed. They didn't make a big splash. I don't even know if they were in the mix for Paul George or Kawhi legitimately. They didn't really get in the mix with LeBron. It feels like a step back.
The step back is they lost Trevor Ariza and Luke Baamute. Okay, those are role players that brought great defense. Ariza was a winner, won a championship, and he stretched the floor to the 3-point line. Okay, but Chris Paul, what they're going to do with him this year, he's probably not going to play as much, and they'll try to keep him ready for the playoffs. They don't need him to play during the regular season.
They don't need Chris Paul.
They were great during the regular season.
Who needs his defense on the perimeter? They got, what's this, Ennis that you love?
James Ennis. He's a good defender.
Yeah. I mean, he's basically an all-star, right, in your book?
No, I didn't say that, but neither is Trevor Ariza or Luke Baamute. And they'll get back Clint Capella. Carmelo Anthony will be fine. I'm not saying he's going to be a world beater. I'm not saying he lifts them above the Warriors. But he will be fine. He will help their mid-range game. They got one mid-range shooter. That's Chris Paul. And you saw when they lost to Golden State in the playoffs, they missed 27 straight threes.
I was just
when
going to say,
you miss
Chris,
27 straight threes, move in a little bit and shoot a 15.
Chris, we have breaking news. Hold on. The Rockets just missed another three-pointer. That's 37 in a row now. I mean, come on. This team is headed downhill.
No, they're not.
Downhill.
They're still going to be very good. They're going to be the second best. Now, I don't care about record. Okay, Golden State was the best team in the West last year, but they had the second best record.
Right.
So we don't care. When you start playing for championships, it's not just about let's go win 65 games. They won't win 65. They're not really trying to win 65.
Why are you chickening it out and not putting a team at
I'm not chickening it out. It's just not time for that.
We can make adjustments
I will tell you
October.
this. You're going to make adjustments probably next month.
No, not next. Nothing's happening.
When I make my predictions, I stick with them all year.
I'm sticking with this and riding with it.
All year you're sticking with this.
Why not?
You just said in October you're going to change.
Can I go in on the Spurs now or no?
No, well, I'm going to lead you there.
Okay.
The San Antonio Spurs and the New Orleans Hornets will make the playoffs. Both of them. Guaranteed.
Anthony
you know
Davis,
who's not going to make it? Portland, I think, is in trouble.
Oh, so they're going from the 3 seed to out.
It was only 3 games difference. Portland could be out. And Denver, as much as I like them, it's the West. They could be out. But I would definitely take San Antonio, New Orleans above Portland and Denver.
So, I don't know if we have time here. I don't want to bash Greg Popovich too much. But have you looked at his starting backcourt and the three-point ability the Spurs have right now? Murray, a nice player, 21 years old. He made 9 three-pointers last year. Okay. He's your point guard.
Okay.
He shot 26% last year.
He's a very good young point guard.
He is very good. He can't shoot three-pointers. He made
That's okay.
9 of them
Neither
last
can Ben Simmons. Is he good?
No. Well, you're comparing Ben
Neither
Simmons
can
to
Rajon
DeJounte
Rondo.
Murray.
Is he good?
That's outstanding, Chris. The other starter in the backcourt for the Spurs, DeMar DeRozan. I love this stat. 31% from deep last year. So your starting backcourt can't shoot. Okay. DeMar DeRozan made 79 threes last year. Lonzo Ball made 80. And missed 30 games.
It's basketball. It's not a three-point shooting contest.
Wait a minute.
The Spurs didn't shoot a lot of threes last year to begin with. They won 47 games.
You're telling me the NBA isn't about three-pointers now?
No. I'm not saying it's not about that.
So you got a team that
I'm
just
just saying
lost
it's
Danny
not
Green,
all about that.
Kawhi Leonard, and you're replacing him basically starting backcourt can't shoot. We know Tony Parker's gone. We don't know. Is Manu Ginobili coming back? What's his deal? Pau Gasol, what is it, 36? This is an old team.
Yep.
I think Popovich played this Kawhi Leonard thing just horribly from the jump. So arrogant. I think he didn't want. Popovich has never had a losing season as a head coach.
You think he's about to?
Well, I think he didn't want to, and he ruined what I think could be the Spurs' future by
what
taking
were they supposed
DeMar
to do?
DeRozan. I think you could. I would have gone for draft picks. Try to get as many draft picks as you can.
How's that worked out for Sacramento?
I don't.
They
want
got
DeMar
4 lottery
DeRozan's,
picks on their team. How good are they?
I don't want DeMar DeRozan's 3 years, $81 million in San Antonio for the next 3 years.
The Spurs remain relevant. Are they going to win a championship with this squad? No.
So why do it?
Because they're still a very good team that can go deep in the playoffs. In the Western Conference, they could get to the second round. They could finish anywhere from 3 to 8 in the West.
Is this really happening? You think
this
they
is
can
really
make a
happening.
Run in the
they
playoffs?
didn't shoot a lot of threes last year.
Okay.
Greg Popovich's strength as a coach is that he plays to the strengths of his players. He's not going to fit a square peg into a round hole or even try. Okay? When he had the Twin Towers with David Robinson and Tim Duncan, he went that route. Played big. When Robinson left, he went through Tim Duncan. When Duncan got old, Tony Parker became the focal point of the offense with the high pick and roll. Then they've gone from being a defensive-oriented team to an offensive-oriented team that featured a lot of three-point shooting. They beat Miami in 2014. That team fades away. Duncan retires. They go to ISO with Kawhi Leonard and LaMarcus Aldridge. He adjusts. That's one of the great things about Pop. He will adjust to this team. You're right. They don't have great three-point shooting, but they didn't shoot a lot of threes last year, and they won 47 games without a DeMar DeRozan or Kawhi Leonard. Now you add DeMar DeRozan to a 47-win team, and they're going to get worse.
How many Hall of Famers they have this past season? So Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, Pau Gasol.
They're old. They're not the
year older, and they lost Parker.
They're not the key, though. The keys are LaMarcus Aldridge and DeMar DeRozan.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.